ThePowerOfVoices.com presents The Lee Michaels Show.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
What's on your mind? Politics, entertainment news, current events.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
From all over the world. And topics all over the spectrum.
I'm talking front page story all over the world. It shook up men, women, boys, and girls. The headlines read, if you want to be rich, then you better make sure that you got your shit. Oh, come on.
Lee and Carol are taking your calls now.
Call now.
Hit it.
424-227-9461. Call 424-227-9461 and let the power of your voice be heard. Live, worldwide, on the Power of Voices Radio.
It's in the streets. Headlines. Headlines.
And now your host, Lee Michaels.
Yep. Welcome. It's Monday. How y'all doing? Did you survive the weekend? I guess you did. Hey, Kevin Brown. What's up? Get down, Kevin Brown. Roshan Vance in the house. Everybody's checking in. It's Monday. You know, some people roll a little slow on Monday, but we come in bouncing, kicking it. Yeah, man. What y'all know about that? Got a new show opening, some new bumpers and stuff that's really, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to use. And thank you to Apollo Productions. George, who calls into the show from time to time, and he said he was going to do it, and he did it. He just said, hey, check this out. Good stuff. All right, Kevin Brown, who did headlines back in the day, back in the 80s? Let's see if your memory is still good. I know you played it. I think you were down in Norfolk at that time, in Sing Sing. Good morning, Carol. How are you?
Trying to get myself loaded in.
Get all fired up over there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, thanks, Kevin. How you doing up there, man? Kevin is up in Northern California, up there in the mountains. He's a mountain goat now. He went from being a beach bum in Virginia Beach to a West Coast beach bum up in San Francisco. Now he's a mountain goat. But that's all right. You're still my dog. Yes, sir. Well, I survived the weekend. Had a good weekend, as a matter of fact. Went up Saturday with my buddy Ron Ellison, flying in his private plane, and Bob, hanging out with the National Black Pilots Association, known as the Red Tails. It's a California organization, and, we had fun up in St. Louis Obispo. Is that how it's pronounced? Had lunch up there and kicking with a bunch of pilots. Now, just imagine, you're in South Lake Tahoe. That's a little different than Northern California. Just a slight, just over the border, right? You're still a mountain goat. Yeah. So, we're hanging out up there. We had lunch, and then we flew back to Whiteman Airport, which is, where is that? Whiteman is, I don't know where, it's not in L.A., it's a suburb of L.A., and Ron and I had dinner, and I came back to the house. It was a fun trip. That's the second time I've gone out there hanging out with the pilots, the Red Tails, which is a very historic name in itself because of the Tuskegee Airmen. They were called the Red Tails back in, what was that, WW2? Before my time, of course. But it's fun, and these guys are trying to talk me into becoming a pilot. What do you think, Carol?
Well, I wouldn't be on the plane.
You chicken. You're just a chicken, that's all.
No, actually, I don't even like big planes, if you want to know the
Oh,
truth.
really? Oh, you all jacked up.
I had to fly for so many years that I don't want to fly.
You're a little nervous. Yeah, I mean, you've done your tour of duty in the
For
air.
years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I've
kinda
flown a
tough.
lot, too. But it doesn't bother me. You know, I can get on a plane. If I'm tired, I'll go to sleep.
Yeah,
you know?
but when you got to do it constantly, I don't
Yeah.
even know how stewardess do it. When you're on
It's a
the
job.
road and you get right back on a plane after a show's over, and you hit all the
Yeah.
bumps. And I mean, you fly in the winter up in those storms.
See, back in the day, when I was a lot younger and more rambunctious, I guess you could say, a little on the wild side, I would get on a plane and sit next to, especially if it was an attractive woman next to me. I wouldn't grope her like Donald Trump. I didn't do any of the crazy stuff like that because I know that's going to get you a punch in the eye, locked up, or something bad's going to happen to you. But see, if you're smooth, you should see this expression on Carol's face. Like, okay, what kind of bullshit is he going to pull out of his hat now?
You know what's funny though? Us women see through that so fast.
No, you don't. You don't.
Oh,
You love
don't
it.
bet on it.
What I used to do is,
Let me hear how you talk when you're smooth. When you're smooth.
sometimes I don't say anything at all. It's just my actions.
You flex your muscles a little.
Yeah, sometimes.
You know how you'll see a
When I
guy,
had 'em.
he'll lean up on the chair and
Yeah.
make sure that biceps going
Yeah,
up.
baby, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. But yeah, I would just sometimes just kind of like fall asleep and just kind of lean over on her shoulder. And it would work pretty much
Well,
8 out of 10
I don't
times.
think it would have worked with
Oh,
me.
it would have worked. Get out of here.
I probably
You'd
would
have
have took my finger and flipped your head.
See, you just nasty. You're bad. You're just a bad girl. See, you gotta loosen up, Carol. You gotta have a little
That doesn't
fun.
mean I'm not loose. I just don't want your head leaning on my shoulder
Well, it's not bad until I start drooling.
or snoring real loud.
Yeah, that's bad. That you're not gonna win a date on that one for sure. That's a
I
guarantee.
think what wins me over if a guy just starts a nice conversation.
Right,
He don't have to start all the smooth stuff.
right,
The
of course.
smooth. Just introduce yourself, say hello, and
Yeah,
where are you
right.
going? And
Yeah,
is this a business trip? I mean, that's
Yeah,
how
some
I would
light
talk
conversation.
to somebody.
Yeah.
Very light.
exactly.
It usually works because
Yeah, it does.
women, we're the same way. We might pretend we're not, but there's ways too that women hit on men.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, I don't do any of that anymore. It's too dangerous. Unlike Donald Trump, he just
Sometimes
He
you
still does
really
it.
think it's too dangerous to you. Maybe think that maybe you're just tired.
well, that too.
That you just want to be able to meet somebody, and if it happens, it happens. But
Yeah.
you don't want to go through all the crap. I know I
Exactly.
don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And so,
The
know,
older
I'm
you
at a
get-
stage in life, I just would like to meet a nice man that,
Yeah.
don't bullshit.
Yeah.
Just be
have
you.
some fun and
Yeah.
be nice and all of that. On time, prompt, gorgeous, brave, reverent, obedient. Going back to my Boy Scout days. Yeah, I have to make an announcement, and everybody in Chicago and probably around the world by now because of the internet all have probably learned that Herb, the cool Kent gent, Herb Kent passed away, made his transition at 88 years old. Herb was a dear friend of mine and broadcast professional in Chicago forever. Yeah, I think he spent his entire radio career in Chicago back in the days of WVON and most recently on V103, worked on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and maintained huge #1 ratings on V103. So farewell, my fellow microphone brother, one of the best that ever kissed the mic, Herb Kent.
Yeah, I seen one of your friends post that this
Yeah.
morning.
Gone away at 88 years old. He hung in there. He did a show on Saturday morning. Went home that night and had a heart attack. And I got to tell you, he will be missed big time.
Now, did he have a nickname like the rest of us?
Cool Gent. He was the cool, that's Kool, Gent. Herb Kent, the cool Gent. Herbie Baby. See, back in the days, we had fun. We had little nicknames. One time I was called the Road Runner, the Soul Gunner. Where did we get that stuff from? I don't know. But we had fun. You know, it was entertaining, and people loved us, and we loved them. It was big fun. Back in the days of creative radio, where you could do your thing and have a good time. Veronique Moore. Now, you're talking about another great radio personality. Veronique and I worked together in Chicago. She was number one at night on WBMX. She commanded a comfortable lead. She was beating the competition worse than Hillary's beating that boy. that man.
What would you do if you were in your bed?
What would I do if I was in my bed?
Yeah, you're in your
right
bed.
now?
And you look on the wall and you see a spider dragging a dead mouse up the wall. Now, how big do you think that spider must be?
No, I wouldn't be in the bed. I'd be up out of there. That's if I saw a spider dragging a mouse. That's like if I told you a mosquito could pull a plow. Don't ask me how. Hitch him up and take a ride. The words of King Hot Dog the Great, Frank Hollison. See, disc jockeys used to come up with stuff like that. But on the phone with us right now is the king of the microphone, George Apollo. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, brother? I didn't know what y'all were talking about. People dying, then you were talking about in the bed. All of a sudden, I didn't know what was. I thought you were talking about coming and going at the same time.
Well,
I didn't know what.
Pretty much, when you got Carol on the radio, that's what it's going to be like.
Well, sometimes I have to porn in a little. You know,
Yeah,
just cut them off the.
You want to die while making love?
Halle Berry. Yeah, if they called and said, we got a day to live, I'm going to find her address and go straight to her house.
Well, I'm with you on that. You might have to fight me at the front door.
Well, I hope you can both get it up, too.
Oh, wow.
Get it up. I'm a Scorpio. My mouth looked like a honey bun wrapper most of my life.
Okay, too much information.
You got him fired up. George is on the loose.
Carol just got mad all of a sudden. All right, that's too much now.
No, it's not. It's really not. I had to laugh when you said that because I can't say a friend or a sister, but that was with a man. And for years, a lot of brothers, especially men of color, will swear they don't have the honey for whatever.
I got a good friend of mine. We were sitting at his house. This is a true story. Sitting at his house. It was around Thanksgiving. His mom had cooked some chitlins. And he was sitting there eating a bowl of chitlins. And we were talking about what we were
Did they have hot sauce on them?
Yeah, but he was like, man, we were talking about this girl. And he was like, man, I ain't never went down on no woman. I don't do nothing like that. I'm like, you crazy. You sitting there eating a hog's asshole, fried. And you don't go downtown? I mean, that's crazy.
Is that what I thought it was the intestine? I guess it would be.
Same thing.
Yeah, you're right, because the is it the intestines?
The intestines.
Because that's where things do cling.
Yeah, I mean, that's just ridiculous.
George, I think you're right about that.
You don't get no benefits for eating that. If you learn to go downtown right, you might get your car payment paid every month. So
Stop.
I can't believe you just said that. In other words, the lady might pay your car payment.
Hey, when I was a young boy, I learned early. I was driving a Volvo at 22.
Oh, God.
Yes, Lord.
Wow, I would have got a hold of you and probably pimped you out then.
I'd have been at your little bridge club party.
Yeah, I would have been pimping you to everybody and making money along with you for your talent.
We used to play laid back in the background. If you want to ride.
Yeah. Don't ride the white horse.
Ride the white horse. Yes, Lord.
That was my jam.
White horse.
Don't ride the white horse.
I was telling him to ride the white horse back then.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, George, when we came along, we would die to ride anything at that point.
That's right.
Now, today, you will.
Herb always said he wanted to. I've always heard he said he wanted to die on the air, and
he almost pulled it off.
I was one of the last people this true story. I was one of the last people to see Jerry Bledsoe alive.
Another
And,
friend of mine.
What a talent, man.
Yeah, it
Good
was.
God.
Totally.
We tell Jerry, Jerry, I was intimidated by Jerry because, you know, they LMA'd or duopolied MXD, another great one, Chris McClendon was programming then.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know how to approach Jerry. Jerry was a legend, you know, and I'm like, yo, that's Jerry Bledsoe. That's the Budweiser dude.
Yeah, do you get down on one knee and say, sir?
Well, he was coming out of the restroom one day, and I was like, here's my chance. And he came out and he said, how you doing? I said, I'm out of here. And coming up next is my man Flash. And he was like, he said, oh, man, you remember that shit? I'm like, man. And so, and then later that night, he said, what y'all doing tonight? I'm like, we're going to this little joint called The Grind, little topless bar. He was like, can I hang with y'all? I'm like, hell yeah. Can. And so we used to get out. We would get full of that liquor, be like, Jerry, you a legend, man. You a legend.
Right.
And Jerry said, man, we're going to go out tonight, but don't y'all be talking about that legend bullshit. That shit's embarrassing. Don't y'all be calling me a legend. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, that kind of
club.
mess your game up, you know?
Jerry started drinking. And, you know, Jerry liked to get his nose full, too. I'm like, Jerry, calm down.
Take it
Calm
easy,
down.
buddy. Take it easy.
So I had one heart attack. Then he'd say, motherfucker, don't you know I'm a legend?
Even went full circle on you, huh?
He said, white boy, you ought to be happy I even let you hang with me. I let you carry my records. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, he was a character, man. I used to love hanging out with him in D.C. and running into him at conventions. He was a fun guy. And most of the guys during that era were just...
Broke my heart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Jerry was the first guy I used to drive him to the airport in Detroit at like 9 in the morning. And then I would pick him up about 5. He would fly to New York and just do a tagline for a national spot, like Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. You know,
right.
Come back.
That's right.
And get $10,000.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, back in those days, you got good residuals from those commercials. Yeah, he was the man. He was.
He used to say, I'm not a legend until I make you a legend. I'm like, boy, come on with that. Come on now.
Yep. Andre
Yeah, but
Morgan just checked in.
Andre Morgan?
Yeah? Do you know Andre?
Yes, I do. He
No,
used
you
to-
don't know
Yes,
Andre.
I do know Andre.
Get outta here.
Used to date my sister, Pat Gillespie.
Everybody used to
Patricia.
date your sister.
My sister's
Yeah, I never
fine.
dated him.
Is Andre Morgan really in there?
Yeah, he is.
Tell him to call in.
Call in, Andre. 424-227-9461. Wait a minute. Let's let the voice, Apollo, who just did our new bumpers. Apollo, did you hear it? I opened the show up with you.
I missed it. I was.
Yeah, see? I told you don't be late, man. Come on.
I know. Come on.
Don't be
you
on
know,
CP time.
I've been on CP. I've been doing urban radio too long. I'm on CP time. I get in just in time to do the 20 break. I'm
Right.
at the top of the hour.
Yeah, give him that telephone number there, Apollo.
I don't even know it. I'm not near my computer.
Oh,
You
man.
better-
You know,
you
it's
better find
funny.
that-
I don't know it either.
What do you have it in your speed dial? How did you call in?
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Yeah. Call Lee right now at 424-227-9461. That's 424-227-9461. Lee and Carol are waiting to take your call right now. Andre, we're talking to you. Call now.
See?
that was
You can't get
really
no better
good.
than that. You can't get any better than that. Yeah, man, he did some really creative stuff. I didn't tell him what to say or anything.
Yeah, I just pulled your website up.
Yeah,
and I will pull your
just pull
Facebook
some
up
crap
and
off the internet and let it roll, right?
ad-libbed it. Yeah. So I hope they work for you.
No, man, we're gonna have fun with it. Absolutely. You made me flash back, with "Call Me" from Sky.
Yeah, I put the headlines in there from Midnight Star.
Yeah,
You remember
yeah.
that?
I asked Kevin Brown who did it. He didn't answer it, so he must have been asleep. He fell asleep. He's up there in Tahoe, so where the air is kind of thin.
Oh, yeah. The air is thin and the weed is good.
Yeah, there you go. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, no, does Nevada have weed now?
I'm not sure. I think that.
Well,
I think
they've
it's
always had weed. I don't know if it's,
if it's legal.
legal.
I mean, did they legalize it?
I
though?
think they
might
have
as
it
well.
for medical purposes. I think.
I wonder if your medical marijuana card is valid in a whorehouse out there.
Well, you think they have
You
it
gotta-
in the? Do you think they have them in those houses?
You got a BYOW. Bring your own weed.
Bring your own weed. That's right.
Yeah.
I haven't made it to one of those. I always say people, let's go to Vegas and gamble. I'm like, I'm not gambling because I don't gamble. I
Well,
put $1 in a slot machine one time just to prove a point.
Yeah.
But it's funny
And,
you say that in Montana they have those houses. They always have.
Really?
I don't have a problem with it. I'm sorry. I have more respect for those women, women that go out almost every night and pick up a different man.
You know, I
Just
agree
to
with
have
you.
sex.
I have a
I'm
lot of
sorry.
respect for him as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey.
At least
I
they're
think the
making
way
a
they
little
do-
money for it.
That's right.
Yeah,
You're going to
I
give
ain't
it up
mad at
that easy, then you might as well sell it.
They're pros.
And they got to be checked out and have a
They
little
do.
U.S. They got to have their little license above. I mean, I've been to Holland before and been in the red light district where they sit in the windows.
Oh,
What
really?
about, yeah.
Yeah, it's $50 a pop over there.
Boom shakalaka.
If you pop early, you done lost $50. you better put
Oh,
a little
they
orange
won't
in.
let, you don't get a certain amount of time?
No, when you
No, ain't no
It's
seconds.
just one pop.
you got to rub some Ambisol on that thing or something before you go in.
No, remember they used to have a product you could buy right out of the store called Detain. They used to sell it.
It wasn't nothing but Oragel to put on your Johnson. That's all it was.
Wouldn't that burn?
I don't know anything about any of it. You guys are talking out of my league.
No, they
Lee,
did
you
have a
know-
product
you know
called
you can't-
Detain.
A little
All I-
scientific medical tip, Lee. You cannot. They just said you cannot take Viagra if you're on an iron supplement pill.
Oh, really? Well, that sucks.
Yeah, every time you get an erection, you face north.
All right, we're going to pull a genie out of the bottle here. Here's Andre Morgan. What's up, Andre?
How are you, man? Good morning, everyone.
Oh, he's Mr. Cool, laid back.
Show you.
I'm good, man. Where in the world are you?
Well, I'm living up in Elk Grove, California, which is just a burb of Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
No, is this Andre that I know?
Yes, it is Carol. This is
How
the
are
Andre
you,
that know.
Andre?
Oh, Lord, here we go. Flashback.
Better than good, better than most.
No, my sister told me you got married and that.
Yeah,
That's
did.
great. That's great.
I did. She didn't want me, so, I had to go and keep moving.
Ah, boom. She wanted to play hardball with you, huh?
Well, whatever kind of ball it is, it fouled out.
Yeah, right? You're doing good, man? It's good to hear your voice.
I'm doing well, Lee. I'm doing well. I have no complaints, man.
Good. Now, do
If I
you
did-
know Apollo? Do you know
You know
Andre
what?
Morgan, Apollo? George?
I don't think so. I
No?
know Andre Carson.
No, it's a
No.
different guy.
No, different guy altogether. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard his name, but I don't know him.
Yeah. Andre's
Yeah, you don't breathe hard enough to be Andre Carson on the phone.
Oh, that's Andre the pervy.
Yeah. Oh, he had some other issues going on.
Yeah, right. Now, Andre Morgan was a promotion guy out here on the West Coast.
For records?
Yeah. Well, kind of, sort of.
I did. I worked the Midwest a lot too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
I think I first met you. It was in St. Louis, Lee.
Yeah, I think you're right. I forgot that you worked in the Midwest. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Monkey Shepard introduced us.
Bunky. There's another flashback. You heard about Herb Kent, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I did
man.
I heard about that yesterday. And
Yep.
He's somebody that I met and who was always a very gentleman.
Yep.
Very nice, kind gentleman.
Yep.
So-
Funny guy too.
Oh yeah. So
The only
he'll be-
problem I had with him when he would invite me on his show, his oldie show, and he would have the battle between two artists. But Herb would
wow.
cheat. He would cheat like hell, man. he would take phone calls and change the outcome of the ratings. I mean, not the ratings, but the voting. And I think I had, let me see, it was Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder, I believe. I think he had Stevie and I had Marvin. And the votes was coming in heavy for Marvin, right? And he lied and cheated and made Stevie Wonder the winner because that's who he picked. And I used to tell him every time I'd see him after, I said, "But you one cheating son of a gun." He said, "That's how it's my show. You want to win, you get your own damn show." I loved him. He was a character.
Wow. Yeah, he is.
And he
is.
had the best ratings until the end. He did his show Saturday morning, went home and had a heart attack, and what a way to go,
Oh
man.
wow. Oh wow. Yeah, he almost got his wish there.
Yes, sir. Hey, Stephen in St. Louis, another one of my radio buddies. This is like a convention.
Yeah. Yeah.
This the Jack the
Carol?
Rapper conference call.
Yes.
Right.
Are you still in L.A.?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
I'm sitting right looking at Lee right now.
but she won't get on the camera, Andre. What's up with that?
I've never
Why?
have. He knows me by now. You won't see any
Yeah.
pictures with me.
But she has a
Well, you
Facebook
know-
account, and she's got pictures there, but she won't let me put the camera on her. I don't know
Come
about
on
that.
now. You're cheating. You're cheating.
No. I don't want to be. I come from walking all the time, and
So what? Well, look, I'm sitting here
you
in
know
a
what,
T-shirt.
Lee likes being in the camera. It wouldn't matter if I was
I don't.
on the
It's not
camera.
that I
'cause
like it. It's just what's happening.
Lee loves the camera.
It's what's up.
Lee loves the camera. Lee will be in his car, and he's on Facebook in the camera. Lee will be up on a plane. Lee's on Facebook in
He
the
was. He
camera.
was in an airplane flying
Yeah,
around with
so
That's
yeah,
right.
you know what
That's
I-
right.
Lee
I'm
likes
here,
the
there, and
camera.
everywhere. I'm world famous. Thanks to
Where
Jim
were you
Maddox.
Where did you go this weekend, Lee? Where did you fly to?
Went up north of Santa Barbara, St. Louis Obispo, I think it's pronounced. I went up there with the
Yeah.
Black Pilots Association, the Red Tails of California, and they have a monthly meeting in a different city. They fly around all over the state of California. So there was I think about 26, 28 guys up there.
Was Ken Hamblin up there?
Ken? I don't know Ken, I don't think.
So now, did you guys fly next to each other like the Red Tails did?
No, we didn't fly in
Oh, okay.
formation because everybody was coming from different
I'm messing with
different
him.
points of the state. Guys coming from up north, Sacramento, San Francisco, the Bay Area, and Central California, Southern California, all the way down to San Diego, and they do a monthly meeting, a different city each month, and that's the second time I've gone up. Andre, you know Ron Ellison, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Well, Ron is a pilot, and he's the president of that chapter.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen Ron. I've seen his plane.
Yeah, so that's
And,
what we flew up in.
Yeah. I saw him at the picnic last year.
Yeah, I missed it
Yeah.
for the past couple of years. Last time I was at the picnic was 2013.
Yeah.
I'm right here, and I
Yeah.
forgot it, man. That's what happens when you get old. You get
You should
senile.
have gave me the date, because remember, I wanted to go,
Yeah, right.
but you didn't give me the
You would have
date.
seen all your old boyfriends out there.
No, I didn't date a lot of those guys, because I know what they're about. They have a woman in every state.
Well, that's okay.
Not always. Not always.
Not Andre, though. Andre was different.
Yeah, Andre was always a cool guy. He was a gentleman.
You know, he really is.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure he still is.
Yeah, he's a good
I think
guy.
out of people my sister liked, he was probably my favorite.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, now where's his sister? Is that the
She's
one
in
here?
Atlanta. Have
Oh,
you
that's the
talked
one
to
in
her
Atlanta.
lately, Andre?
No, I haven't.
Well, you know, she had,
And-
she might not want me to discuss this on radio. She had surgery recently.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's
You know
okay,
what,
though, right?
Carol? Kat, now it happened to be that in transferring phones, changing telephones and cell phones, whatever,
Yeah. You
it
you
was
get.
one of the numbers. I lost the number.
Yeah.
Well, if you need it, call after and I'll give it to you.
Same number.
Yeah. You can get into
Yeah,
that.
call
Yep.
through here or call Lee, or I'll give you mine. I can't give it to you on air because
Oh, go ahead.
he's a bunch of horny men.
Give out your cell phone, Carol. Come on.
Carol, tell you what, Carol,
Yeah.
let me make it easy. You got a pen?
Yeah, I'm going to have my secretary do
Okay.
it.
Lee Michaels.
216
216
407
407.
7517.
You know, it's funny, Andre. I just asked her about you.
Yeah. All right.
You're
I
right.
thought-
We were just talking about
And
it.
she told my sister said he got married. I said, oh, he did? Because I know you two were together for quite a while.
Yeah, we were.
That's nice. Isn't that nice to have conversation about a flashback in the past when you were younger and happy and in love?
Yeah, driving to Atlanta from Michigan almost every weekend.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you were hook, hog, tied, and collared, dog.
No, but you know, he was always a gentleman. I noticed that about him.
Did you have one hook in your mouth, or did you have one of those tri-hooks, a three-way hook?
It might have been a six-way.
Six-way. Oh, Lord.
Playing the OJs all the way down the road.
Right.
I try to
you
tell
know
them
what?
I have some pretty sisters now. And
Yep.
now all the
Yep.
kids that are growing are just knocked dead gorgeous, and the men.
Yes,
So it's I
yes.
have very pretty, and they're still very beautiful.
Susan's still out there.
Susie's still out here.
Yes, still out here in California.
I think
Okay.
she gets, she's still with her husband.
Mm.
It's at that stage where you get bored and you're like, wow, this is what life is.
Yeah.
That's why I come here with Lee, because I can never get bored with him and all his friends.
I'll bring some crazy. There's no doubt. You can guarantee that. It's going to be crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, this is. I mean, I listen, but this is my first time calling. So.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. We appreciate that. Don't forget to hit the share button. Everybody that's listening and watching right now, hit the share button, and let's get a online radio music industry convention every day.
You ever hear from Jim Gates, man?
Yeah, I just saw Jim a few months ago when I went back to St. Louis. They inducted me into the St. Louis Media Hall of Fame.
Oh,
and,
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, Jim came out, and it was good to see him. He's doing well.
Good. You know,
Yeah.
my wife is from St. Louis too.
Yeah. Okay.
She
Yeah,
used
my
to work for
my
Ralston.
my first,
Ralston
my
Payne.
my second, third, and fourth wife, I think, were from St. Louis.
Wow. Okay. I can't count that high.
He's had a lot of wives. So now, Andre, did Eddie Holland pass away?
Oh yeah.
Yes, he did.
That was
Yes,
a
he
long
did.
time
Eddie-
ago now.
I was telling
he passed.
Susie that, and she didn't know.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
he
that's got to
passed
be
too.
20 plus years, huh?
Yeah. Eddie Holland.
Yeah.
Alonzo King.
Yeah.
Alonzo. I don't think you knew Alonzo Carroll, but Alonzo passed too.
Yeah.
No, I knew
remember Alonzo.
Don Eastman.
Don
Oh.
Eason. Oh my
I feel
goodness.
sorry.
Oh,
Now,
I
you're
didn't
talking
like
about
him
a
that
character.
way. I went to dinner with him.
I'm
but
sorry. I'm sorry.
I didn't like him that way, believe me.
What's up, Johnny Lewis? Yeah, Johnny Lewis remembers when they called me Lee Baby Michaels.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh, I ain't heard that name in a long time.
Right? Yeah, I was the youngest guy on the team. Now I'm the grandfather. I'm usually
Wow.
the elder on the team. So I guess it's nice to have lived that long, to go from being the kid to the old guy.
Okay.
I'm cool with that. So what are you
Well,
doing
you know-
now, Andre? Are you retired, or what are you doing?
I'm doing as much as nothing as possible.
Oh, I heard that. Good for you, man.
I am retired. I've been retired since 2003, actually.
Right? Okay.
And, I just decided that I'm going to go do something to get out of the house. I think I'm going to go do some Uber or whatever, just to get out of the house for a while.
Okay.
But no, I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
My wife retired in February, and we've been traveling most of this year.
Excellent. Well, that's what you're supposed to do, man. You work hard when you're young, and then if you live long enough to enjoy your hard labor and travel around and do some fun things, and that's what it's all about.
Isn't it funny?
it
I
is.
have no desire to travel. I guess because I did it so long
So
going
much,
on the
yeah.
road with people. Because I keep getting calls from people to come back out on the road, and I go, oh, hell no. But I love working. I
Yeah.
love working.
Yeah.
I can never, but I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, what I did for a bunch of years is like buried.
Yeah.
Dead and buried. I mean, the business has changed so much.
It has.
Call it the same thing.
It's nowhere near as
I
much fun.
honestly don't think labels will be around much longer because you have different artists now proving they don't need a label. Chance the Rapper is the biggest rapper out there. You got Macklemore, and then my granddaughter, Sky Ferreira. If she could get out, she'd get out in a minute. I mean, she left creative artists because she did acting and everything. She's managed to get 5 movies now
Without them.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I'm
modeling
gonna go-
jobs. She's tired of it.
It's a different world. It's a different approach, and the younger people, they network differently, and they're not dependent upon the record labels, making things happen. And the record labels really fell asleep at the wheel, I think, about 20 years ago, and they haven't been able to recover.
They really did.
Mhm.
They really did. I think the thing that happened to the music business, Lee, is when they started bringing Wall Street people into the business.
Yep. The
And
same
it's
greedy
about the time-
bastards that destroyed the radio business.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And then the
Destroyed
majority of their
both
artists are manufactured artists. Most of them could not sing if their life depended upon it.
Yeah.
They could not sing, and then a lot of these, excuse me, little young asses that they brought into the hip hop industry just destroyed it, man.
Yeah. No credibility, no respect, no
nothing.
professionalism.
No.
Yeah, they
No.
just they came in and pimped it all out, and now it's on life support. You know, there's just a handful of artists that are doing anything spectacular,
Yeah,
and
it is.
it's a shame. But you know what?
It is.
I guess when we came along and we did what we did, probably the old heads looked back at us and said, "Look at these clowns. They don't know what they're doing."
Yep.
So these young hippies coming in here, they don't know what the hell they're doing. But we made you a lot of damn money.
Well, you know, I think for some of us, it took the likes of the Funky Shepherds and others in
Oh,
the
yeah.
area, Carl Davis and all these
Mhm.
folks, who was there to kind of give us some guidance.
That's right. Yeah, they were not selfish, and if they saw you
Right.
doing something wrong, they pull you to the side and say, "Hey, come here, young blood. Let me give you some advice." And we were smart enough to pay attention and listen to them, and follow their advice. I mean,
Yeah.
how are you going to argue with success? That's what I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. Listen. Oh, before I forget, do Jill listen to you? Jack's daughter, Jill.
I'm not sure if she does
Well-
or not. I can't remember if
Well,
I've seen her check in or not.
Okay. Well, I just saw where he was inducted into the
Georgia
Georgia
Radio
Hall of
Hall.
Fame.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, well, he deserves it. Yeah.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Mm.
Yeah, he was
That's
special. Real
Yeah,
special.
He was.
Yes,
he was.
indeed.
He was.
Another pioneer.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely another pioneer. He's one of the early ones. Him and Dave Clark.
Yep. Oh my goodness, Dave. He was a character, man. I remember the first time I met him. I think I was in St. Louis, around '73. He came in there and he says, "I said, so how do you promote, man? How do you do your thing?" He goes, "I go to anywhere I see an antenna, I go there and I take them records." I said, "Even if it's not a radio station," he said, "I don't care. If they're on the air, I want them to have my music." I said,
That
"Police
was Dave.
station, the CB radio?" He said, "I don't care. If you got an antenna, I'm going to take him a record." I laughed
right.
my butt off. I'll never forget that. He was a character.
Dave was. He
Yeah,
really was,
I mean,
man.
and he launched a lot of people and helped them become successful recording artists by
Yes, he
being
did.
a grassroots promoter.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He most certainly did.
You remember Big
Well-
Ralph Little, out of
Oh,
St.
God,
Louis?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
haven't heard that name in, ooh. Oh, yeah.
yeah. Ralph passed. He passed. Feels like about 6 years or so ago. Yeah,
okay.
that was my road dog, man. That was my buddy. My buddy. I remember.
remember him.
Yeah, I remember one time I was in New York City. And this is 1975, and I left the station there, and I was going to San Francisco to KDIA to work with Keith Adams again.
Mm-hmm.
And Ralph was hanging out with me in New York. So I said, "Look, Ralph, I got to get to San Francisco, man. And you stay here and close up the house and just sell all the furniture and get you a ticket and come on. We'll hang out in San Francisco for a couple of weeks and whatever's left, you bring me the money." I'm still waiting for Ralph. Ralph sold all the furniture, took the money, and went in a different direction. I said, "Man, where
Wow.
are you?" "Oh, I'm back in St. Louis, man." I said, "What are you doing in St. Louis? You're supposed to be coming to San Francisco." "I'll be there. Just be patient, fool." That was my road dog, boy. We drove up and down I-70 between Virginia and St. Louis. I can't tell you how many times, man.
Wow.
That was my road dog.
Yeah.
He said, "Be patient, fool. I'm coming." I said, "Well, how much money you got left?" "Man, don't be asking me no crazy questions. You know I don't have no money." Ralph
That's
spent
not a
all the
crazy
money,
Yeah.
sold the
Yeah,
furniture, left New York, went home. But I love him anyway. That was my boy. That was my
Yeah.
boy. Good
Yeah.
cat.
You have those. Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, This has been very nice.
Yeah, man, it's good to hear your voice, and I'm glad you're doing well. And then next time you're in the LA area, give me a shout, man. Let's have lunch or something.
I'll do that because we got a granddaughter there,
Oh, cool.
and she's a dancer.
Oh,
Really? Where's she dancing at?
She went to AMDA,
Uh-huh.
and there's a Bollywood production company down there,
Hmm.
and she dances with them.
excellent.
And she's teaching dance at a middle school somewhere over there.
Yeah,
But
because
she's
I noticed
also-
the edge is moving by me.
Is that what?
That it's a bit major dance school. So she teaches at middle schools. I wonder which one.
Yeah, I don't know which one. I have to find out. But
Mhm.
AMDA is up there at Vine and right up and back, right past the Capitol Records building, the next block up.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
Hollywood.
the
Vibe.
American, the American Music Dramatic Arts School there in Hollywood. And it's a school where they have a campus there in LA, and they have one up in Manhattan. And they only take 600 students per year between the two campuses.
Wow.
And they have the instructors there are people who are actually in the business. For
Yes.
dance, for theater, for voice, or whatever.
Right.
And fortunately for her, she worked in the coffee shop as a barrister. And then they brought her on, and now she's traveling around the country, around the world, basically, because she's been from everywhere. And what she does, she goes around, they audition kids, and if they qualify, then they get a scholarship to come to the school.
How about that? That's excellent, man. Well, you got to be
Yeah.
a proud grandfather.
Yeah, I am. Well, right now, and she's got an upcoming part in Hairspray. They're getting ready to do Hairspray down there in L.A., and she's been in rehearsals for that.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a
Oh,
popular
I can't
play.
wait to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be that. But when you look at the stage and see some chocolate up there dancing around, it's her.
That's her, huh?
But that's what I
Yeah.
like about Debbie Allen's. Do you
Yeah.
ever go to her chocolate nutcracker?
No, I haven't been to that. I've
Oh,
heard
it's
about it. I haven't
amazing.
been.
My son was in it. Because, my son's
okay.
was a tap dancer.
Oh.
Well, we're going to be there. She's insisted on preparing dinner for Thanksgiving and invited us down. So
Well, definitely give us a shout, man, because I'm going to be in
I
town.
will do that. I will do that, man.
Okay. All right. You take care.
All right.
Good talking with
Hey,
you. Good to hear your voice.
I say, all right. Peace and blessings to all. Peace.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
That's Andre Morgan, ladies and gentlemen. God I've known
Lee, I
for
wanted to ask you a
30 plus
question.
years.
Didn't you work at 99X?
I did. Yeah, that was the
You worked
station that I left back in 75.
So you worked with Jay Thomas and Walt Baby Love?
No, Walt, I came in after Walt. They will only have one black guy at a time on those top 40 stations.
That was a Jerry Clifton's, was it not?
Well, Clifton, I think, was before or maybe after. I'm not sure now. Let me think about that. Paul
I have some
Drew.
old promos from there where it was the Cash Man, the 99X
Cash
Man.
Man.
On the street.
Yeah, now
Anytime. Yeah.
Paul
That was
Drew,
Clifton.
Paul Drew was the consultant when I was there.
Okay.
And Lee
Okay.
Douglas was doing midday. Steve Smoking Weed was on before me.
What was his name?
Steve Smoking Weed.
Jeez.
And George, now check this out. When I first got there, I couldn't use Lee Michaels because Lee Douglas was on the air. And then I was up against George Michael over at WABC. So we're sitting there in the PD's office with the general manager and I. We're trying to come up with a new air name. So they came up with George Washington Bridges. I said, no. M.F. Johnson. I said, absolutely not. And then the last ridiculous one, the PD says, hey, man. He was kind of cosmic, and, he was hitting that weed all the time. And he says, I got it, man. This
Are
is
you
going to be
getting
it.
static?
He says, C.O. Kane.
C.O. Kane.
Yeah, you follow Steve Smoking Weed, and you'll be C.O. Kane. I said, no, I'm not going to be cocaine. No. No.
Well, what did you end up being?
For about 10 days or 2 weeks, I think it was, I was the X-Man.
Oh, the
Because we
X-Man.
couldn't come up with a name. But then I was kind of a fan of JoJo White up at the Celtics. And so I became JoJo.
JoJo. JoJo.
Yeah. My first name was Joe. My last name was Joe.
There you go, JoJo.
JoJo,
There's a
smoking
guy
in the
out there
nighttime.
Hollywood who goes by JoJo Wright. He's
Yeah.
a top 40.
Okay.
I worked with him in Charlotte. He was Hollywood in Charlotte before
Okay.
he came to LA.
Yeah, there was another guy by the name of Jojo Cookin Kincaid. Ran across him. I think he worked in St. Louis. Yeah, he worked. In fact, he worked in St. Louis with the same PD who was my PD in New York.
I've got some air checks of Walt on 99X.
Oh, yeah.
I've got about 2 hours of Walt Love on 99.
Yeah, he's a
And
great
Jay,
job.
And Jay Thomas.
Yeah.
Jay Thomas as well.
Now, I remember Jay when he was a disc jockey in Charlotte.
Yeah, big ways.
Yeah. In fact,
Yeah,
I was
that's what
working.
I remember.
I was working for Mercury Records as a regional promotion guy out of Atlanta, and I would have to go to his station, and he was really kind of a jackass to me, but that's
Really?
okay. Yeah, he played hardball, but see, I was a regional promotion guy, and the way Mercury Records was set up, the regional guy went to the pop stations and the R&B stations. Then you had a local pop promotion guy that worked out of the distributor. They were using independent distributors during those days. So I would go in there with the pop guy, and he really didn't want to see me because I guess he looked at me as just an R&B guy, you know. But yeah, he was kind of a character,
I remember in Greensboro, we were an urban reporter at 102 Jams.
Oh yeah, I remember the station.
Brian Douglas came to me one day. He's like, "We've got to switch to top 40." I'm like, well, "Why?" He's like, "Well, Walt wants me to report a record that we're not playing." And I'm like, "So
What?
He's like, Walt wanted a paper ad, and Brian wouldn't give it to him."
Oh,
And, so I had to put a profile together, and I think it was Joel Denver at the time, and we became. But I'm gonna tell you this: once we became a top 40 reporter as opposed to an urban reporter,
right.
we got so much product.
Oh, yeah.
Look at all this is ridiculous. All the CDs and promotional stuff we
Absolutely.
got. That's when I realized how uneven it was in terms of support.
Oh yeah, totally. When I went from WGCI in Chicago to KMEL in San Francisco, they had a prize closet.
Yeah.
That was not a closet. It was a large room with everything from surfboards to CDs, records, and all kind of giveaways from the record labels. The first thing I did was when I got there and saw all of this stuff, I said, damn, I used to have to beg for 25 copies of a record or 50 to give away on a weekend. And these guys, as a joke, George, one of the record labels sent 2,500 copies of a Christmas record to the station. 2,500. And they were still sitting there on the floor. Never used them. So I called all the VP of marketing and promotion of all the major labels and told them, I said, man, the next time you guys in those meetings, you guys have something to fight about because it is not balanced. It's not fair. The pop guys are killing you. And they said, well, tell me what you're talking about.
It stayed that way. I remember it always stayed that way.
Mm-hmm. I remember having to write a request for something weeks in advance, and my music director could pick up the phone on a Thursday and put together a weekend giveaway that quickly.
Oh yeah.
And no problem. Get $2,000 or $3,000 to give away, or a trip to New York to see a concert with hotel, ground transportation, food, and everything in a phone call.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We'd have to send a letter and a IQ, your picture ID, and everything else
Hey,
weeks in
I wanted
advance.
Last year around the Christmas, about a year ago, I think Amazon said one of their highest selling items was the turntable.
Yeah, they're coming back.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think this artificial hype that's been created on social media and it has been perpetuated by the record industry, this theory that phonograph records have a higher quality than MP3, the purists that want to hear the analog phonograph, because I think I think it's brilliant if it was, because if people are buying vinyl records again, you can't download a piece of vinyl.
That's true.
And I often thought that the record labels had somehow went out and created this hype to generate, because they're pressing vinyl again.
No, a year or so ago, vinyl went up like 14%, in 1 year, and so it's been on the rise for the last 3 or 4 years. And people are buying vinyl again. But you got to remember, there's a generation or two that's never, experienced the vinyl.
Well, I know the younger kids buy vinyl.
Yeah. So
I think they collect it.
Yeah, it's like something new to them. So I think that's what we're seeing, Apollo.
If the hype was created by the record labels, or they had hired maybe people to go out and create this hype to spark awareness or interest in vinyl again.
Right.
If they did, I think it was brilliant because, there's just no other way they could make money otherwise.
That's true.
I haven't paid for there are a handful of artists I will go out and buy their music.
All right, name me one.
I bought, let's see, I'm trying to think who I bought recently. I bought Wyclef, the last thing he did.
And how long ago was that? 10 years ago?
It's been a couple of years ago. There's a new girl. Her name is Candace Springs. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's
No, I haven't.
a jazz singer. I went out, and I'm getting ready to go out and buy hers. It's absolutely unbelievable. I'm trying to look. Let me look here what I've paid for recently. If it's an artist that I really, really want to support, I will actually go out and buy their music. I bought. It's actually not even an R&B group. I saw this group by accident in Asheville. They're called the Zach Brown Band. I actually went out and bought their. And this guy named Rodriguez. I don't know if you're familiar with him. There was a documentary called Searching for Sugar Man that was out. Rodriguez is this Hispanic gentleman from Detroit, and he released an album called Cold Fact back in 1973, and it never sold any. It didn't say. He might have sold 5 copies in the United States.
Wow.
But what he didn't know was that his album went like 5 times platinum in South Africa and Australia.
Yep.
And this documentary was about and so there was a big rumor that had circulated that he had committed suicide on stage at a concert. So everybody thought he was dead for like 30 years. And they found him, and he's still alive, and he was doing demolition of houses. He's like in his 70s. But anyway, I went out when they re-released his album. I went out and bought a copy of it. Look for that documentary. I think you would love that, called Searching for Sugar Man.
Searching for Sugar Man.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool documentary. It was crazy. So when they flew him to South Africa to do a concert, it was like people were seeing Elvis. Like they thought this guy had been dead 30 years. So when he came out on stage, people were like beside themselves.
Wow.
Like, really, he's still alive.
So he broke out in a foreign country prior to the internet.
Yeah, he didn't know it. This was in the early 70s. People said in South Africa, every home had the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, and Rodriguez. Those were 3 albums every home had. And so he had no idea that he was, and of course his label here in the U.S. Didn't inform him that he had sold millions of copies overseas.
But the label was making money off of him and didn't let him know. Oh, how tragic! That's criminal.
Very tragic.
Yeah.
But he's a real cool guy, and he went back and did shows over there, and all the money that he made, he donated it. Family and nonprofit, and he's still in his 70s. He
God bless him.
does demolition on old houses. He goes in and guts these old
Where
houses.
is he living?
Detroit still.
Detroit. Okay. We need to find him. I'd love to have a conversation with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Searching for Sugar Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Well, you guys, his real name is Sixto, Sixto, Sixto Rodriguez is his name. His music kind of resembles James Taylor, a little bit of maybe some, it's like that folk / hippie kind of music.
Folk / pop rock.
Yeah, I hear a lot of James Taylor influence. I hear a lot of that. James Taylor was the first thing I thought of. When I heard his stuff.
Kind of smooth, mellow.
Somebody just rang my doorbell, so I'm going to bounce off here. You
All
guys
right.
have a great
Do you see blue lights flashing?
No, thank God. No.
Okay.
Nowadays, when I hear those, I just roll over and know they're not coming for me.
Okay. All right, George. Again, thanks for the production work, man, and your check is in the mail.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
You guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day.
Don't
Like, you too.
cash it though.
Yeah, right. That's George Apollo What is it? Featherberg? Let me get his name right, because I don't. Yeah, Featherbay of Apollo Productions. He did some bumpers and show intro stuff for us. I'm gonna play some of that stuff for you in a few momentos, and it was very nice of him. He did it just off the top of his head. I didn't ask him or send him any script, and he just banged it out. That was awfully nice of him. And Steve Bias, I know we talked about doing some stuff too, and I still want you to do that, bro. I've just been so busy. You know, the old man has got 9 balls in the air all the time. Let's see who else is out there. Greg Vargas, thanks for tuning in. And Miss Barber, thank you very much. Good to see you. You come in on a regular basis. I appreciate that. And hey, guys, don't forget to hit the share button. Hit that share button. And tell all your friends about Lee and Carol on the Lee Michaels Show. And let them know that, we're here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, Pacific time. That's on the West Coast. And thank you again for listening. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break.
Lee and Carol will be right back with more of the Lee Michaels Show. Powered by the Power of Voices Radio. At thepowerofvoices.com.
If you would just stay for a while, surely we could find something to get into. Baby boy, it's on you. If we could just play for a while, let me ease your.
You asked for it, and we listened. Welcome to thepowerofvoices.com.
Hey, this is Greg Bell from the Rams Sports and Life on thepowerofvoices.com. Join me every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday as I'll be talking Rams, sports, and life. And you never know who's going to join me on the show. So make sure you check out Rams, Sports, and Life on thepowerofvoices.com.
Attention Las Vegas residents. Olympic Cleaning Services is the company for all your green cleaning needs. Call us now, 866-984-7444. Olympic Cleaning Services specializes in residential, commercial, construction, move-in, move-out, carpet cleaning, auto detailing, and we also provide emergency services when you need it. Call us now, 866-984-7444. For all first-time customers, you'll receive 15% off. Call us now, 866-984-7444, or go to OlympicCleaningservices.com. Go green today.
Hey America, we need to have a little talk. We've got a lot of food in this country. We've got so much food that we can't eat it all. So how are 17 million kids in America struggling with hunger? That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to hungry kids who need it. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much,
for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot, for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
She's still very good. I moved on her, actually. From down in Palm Beach, I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. I did try and fuck her. She was married.
Welcome back to the Lee Michaels Show. Lee and Carol are taking your calls now. 424-227-9461. Get in on the conversation and let your voice be heard with Lee and Carol.
I couldn't get there, and she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phone pics and everything. She's totally changed her look. She's a girl's hot as shit. Wrong. She's wrong. Yes, the dinosaur. My man. Anyway, you gotta look at this guy.
Got him on the spot. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome
Yes, we're back live at 10.
Now, your host, Lee Michaels.
That's me. Hello. Welcome back to the Lee Michaels Show with Lee and Carol. And we are here live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon on the Power of Voices, and that is Pacific time. So write it down and pass it around. Laura Rice coming up at noon. She just checked in. Thank you for tuning in, Laura. And she's going to talk about the full body frequency. Yep. And Carol, what are you eating? You eating nuts again?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull away from the microphone.
Okay. Yeah,
I get hungry, but there's so much junk, and I did tell my friend I'd bring her a piece of the cakes.
I got to tell you, everybody brings food into this station, and most of it is sweet.
Not Carol, though.
Oh yeah, you bring some stuff in. You brought in some candy and.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I bring in oatmeal bars and things like that, but they don't like that.
No, I like them.
When you have no choice.
We got, what, two cakes in there now?
I'm going to take 2 pieces because I told my roommate I would. But I brought you enchiladas today.
We got candy, 2 cakes, because Josefa Salinas just had a birthday. Her birthday was Saturday. And we had a little cake and ice cream thing on Friday for her. And so there's plenty of cake here, birthday cake. Red velvet, and the other one is, what, a chocolate something? And so there's too much cake. And, everybody here is going to be a diabetic in a minute. And I'm resisting. I've had a cup of coffee, and Carol made some enchiladas, and I'm going to have that for lunch. So I'm not going to have any cake. No ice cream, but I am going to have 1 popsicle. The veggie fruit bars.
Food on my pants.
So that's it. I'm going to eat healthy.
Well, you have to.
Yeah. I want to continue to do what I'm doing for a long time. Like Herb Kent, he did it until he was 88. So I got to do at least 88. So
did you see where they say Biden wants to fight Trump?
Who?
Biden said he wants to have a fight with Trump.
Oh, well, that's cool. Who?
That would be so pitiful, the 2 of them. They would look like fools.
Who would you bet on?
Neither, to be honest.
No?
No, I'd have an ambulance ready, paramedics.
Would you give him mouth to mouth?
Oh, hell no. They'd have to die.
Carol, you telling me if I fell out on the floor right now and I was suffering and I needed mouth to mouth, you wouldn't give me a little mouth to mouth?
No, I don't know how to do it.
Oh, damn. I'm a
Thank
dead
God.
man. Dead man.
Oh.
That's terrible.
I told you my daughter did mouth to mouth on a parrot.
Yeah, well, see, that you can't do that because that could be very painful. You'd come up lips short.
Well, she should have because she was feeding my parrot alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Heaven knows.
That was not good.
No.
Not good at all.
I was reading something, and I think our laws should be stricter.
On what?
In another country, if a man, these young guys rape these women, and with the new cartel that's taken over, because you have lots of cartel in Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
So first they beat them and do a number on them, and then they have them take something I think it's called Metzol, and they castrate them.
Mm.
And then they make them eat one of their webbles.
Mm. No. Where is this, in Indonesia?
Indonesia.
No, well, I'm not going there.
Well, I
Ever.
hope you wouldn't rape somebody.
No, I wouldn't do that either.
Well, that's why they did it.
Yeah, but still. You don't think that's a little extreme?
No, I don't think it is. If you were a woman and somebody raped you, even a young boy.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I agree.
I don't think people know what it does to somebody mentally. I know somebody, and mentally, she's destroyed from this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's horrific.
Even though she's an adult, she can't get past it.
Yeah.
And, she needs to, but a lot of memories stay in people.
That's
even
true.
as an adult.
That's true. That's devastating. Takes all of your spirit and hopes and dreams and implants fear probably for the rest of your life.
Fear and hate.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know which one is worse, fear or the hate, but it's your life won't be the same.
And see, they don't go to jail after they get a free pass, but
yeah, that's not good.
They won't be raping anybody else.
Well, I'll tell you what.
What's funny is they were cutting off their berries.
That would scare the hell out of me. Not that I would need that kind of fear, because I just don't think it just doesn't make sense to me to do that to another human, man or woman.
And as far as they make them eat one after, that's just a hearsay.
Oh, really?
But they say that's true, so I don't know.
Wow.
I think they should make them eat it. You think it's okay to, and it's the same thing. Women rape. Look at all these school teachers that have did this to these young boys, and so women aren't any better.
Yeah, Jammer Daniels. Yes, we did mention that Herb Kent had passed away a couple times already, but he's definitely going to be missed. One of the great radio personalities of all time, Herb Kent, the cool gent, at 88 years old, died on Saturday in Chicago. Superstar in that market, no doubt about it, and known all over the country and well respected by members of the radio and music industry. Artists from back in the 50s all the way through today have a lot to, they owe him a lot because he played their music, and so did the guys that worked at WVON and the stations like that all over the country. So, farewell, my radio brother. I'll see you later. Welcome to the show. Who do we have?
Hey, how's it going, sir?
Bass in the place. What's up, Chris?
What's up, man? How's everything?
Everything's Copacabana.
Is Carol there? I know she doesn't do the photo or picture thing. Is she there too, or is it you by yourself?
I'm here, but I'm invisible.
Of course you are. Yeah.
I come in an invisible cloak.
She's in the witness protection program. That's why you can't see her.
Guy, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I got on the tail end. I didn't know you was going to close the thing out about her, but as you know, it was.
Yeah, man.
We knew it was going to come, unfortunately, but when it does come, we become selfish because we want them to stay longer.
Right.
And when it happens, it's just a tremendous hole that person leaves. And
indeed.
And with me, I first met her when I was a broadcasting student at Columbia College in Chicago, and a friend of mine, Ken, had an internship at GCI. In fact, he was running his board when Herb was at WGCI on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
So I first met him then. Of course, he introduced himself as Herb. I always know he was Herb Kent. He's Herb Kent, so, But he was like, "Hi, kid. I'm Herb Kent." He started to, shake hands, and, he went to my friend Ken, was like, "All right, can you make the food run and make sure you get my red beans and rice?"
You do a good impression of him. That's pretty good.
Yeah. He was the guy, man. As you know, and a lot of people were connected to him through WVON, The Good Guys, or V103. I got connected with Herb Kent when he played punk out music.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's when I first heard him, back in the early 80s.
Right.
WXFM.
Right.
And he was spinning Devo and B-52s and Yoko Ono, my punk out era.
Right.
That's when I first heard Herb Kent. And
he was doing something kind of different in his show from time to time like that. I remember that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's when I first heard him. I've been a fan ever since.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Funny. Cheat like hell when he had this battle. He'd cheat. The time I was on there with him, he cheated like hell.
Right.
Yeah, the battle between Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye. Now, those are two superstars, to say the least.
Correct.
But he would cheat. People would call in and say Marvin Gaye, and he'd change the vote to Stevie Wonder. Now, if Trump wanted to bitch about something, then there's the fixed election right there.
Right.
That's it.
It was rigged.
Yeah, it was rigged.
Right.
And I said, man, you can't do that. He said, well, I can do anything I want. It's my show. If you want to do it your way, you have your own oldie show, young man.
Right. Towards the end, real quick, we know people in the industry, of course, and somebody was telling me, they just got to check out Herb, man. He's a little cantankerous these days.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, no, man, hear it for yourself. So leave one. I haven't heard him in years, but I did listen to this one time, and so he's good with kickers. Like, I think it was like at the venue giving away tickets to see the Temptations. Call at 591-313. So then, of course, the caller calls in. Hey, Herbie, how you doing? How you feeling? You don't give a damn about me. All you want is these tickets.
Yep, that was him. That was him.
But for me, that made for great radio. I know some people would take offense by that.
Absolutely.
But that was, as you say, pure, raw, and uncut.
Absolutely. It was
Oh.
Herbie unfiltered.
Yes,
yeah, George,
absolutely.
we do have some static on the line. It's called Chris Bass.
You know, it's funny.
Now-
I don't know the man, but it's obvious he won't be forgotten because I've
Oh,
heard
yeah.
nothing but great memories this
Oh,
morning.
yeah, totally.
Great stories from all of you.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jammer Daniels, yes, I did work at WBMX back in the 80s. I did my tour of duty there, for sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
And Dave Johnson said he did promos for Herb
Oh, he did? Oh, cool.
at 106.
Very nice.
Back in 1979. Wow.
Man, okay, yeah.
I was young back
around-
in those days.
Man, who you selling? That was around my punk out era. Right, I got it.
Yeah. James Alexander, who also worked in Chicago at WBMX, is in the house. What's up, James? Strong songs. I think James Alexander coined that phrase up in Detroit at WJLB. I always thought that was a great slogan. Yeah, playing strong songs. Yeah.
You can't go wrong with, that type of radio. As you know, it's more than missed. And you do catch it, every now and again on, say, XM or Sirius XM and those stations. But when it's what you grew up with and what you know, it becomes a gold standard, and it definitely was.
Exactly.
Definitely was. And now, what was funny was I was talking to Al Greer about this last Saturday, as a matter of fact. We were talking about Doug. Unfortunately, Doug Banks passing away, how that was still fresh. And then we get the news the following day about her passing away. It was just more than devastating, to say the least.
Yep.
And so in fact, there's a picture that somebody floated around. I believe it was at Marv Dyson's house. People don't know Marv Dyson is pretty much the architect, quote unquote, of WGCI here in Chicago when they had Doug Banks and Tom Joyner and those guys, and it came number one in the market.
Right.
There was a get-together at Marv's house years ago. There's a picture of Marv, Harold Lee Rush, Harold Curlman, and Doug. And so I saw the picture. It's just a shame that two of those icons are not gone.
Yeah, that's true.
Doug and Herb. It's very sad.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
And Bob Wall was during that era as well. He's gone.
That's right. Mid-mornings, correct.
Yep. Yeah, I had the pleasure to work with all of those guys. It was all three had incredible talent, to say the least, and definitely going to miss. I miss them all now.
Yeah.
Doug and I were like brothers, two peas in a pod.
Oh, absolutely.
And when he passed away, I was devastated. I didn't, I wasn't ready for that one.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even go to the funeral or any of that because it was just too much. Too much.
It was. Yeah, it was. They had two services here that I'm familiar with. They had one at a private one at Room 43 on 43rd here in Chicago, and then they had another one in Bronzeville that was sponsored by iHeart. So I went to the first one at Room 43, and I mind you, this whole time, Prince had passed away during this time too.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was no good. At the very end of the celebration of Doug's life, they played house music that I grew up listening to at your station, BMX. They played that type of house music, that old style house music.
Yeah.
Then they played Prince music. I was no good, I had to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, all those guys are now on the big radio station up in the sky.
Yeah.
Talking on the gold microphone.
Doing their thing, man.
Yeah. We'll all catch up with them sooner or later. Well,
That's right.
you might make it. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it.
I'm trying to take my time, man, because of this.
I'm holding out.
Right, exactly right. I was like, I love y'all. Yeah, I love y'all, but I'll do the slow crawl.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it to the gold mic. See, I might make it to the red mic.
Right. Just the red singeing hot mic,
be
right?
in the hot house.
Right. No, I might. Hey, I might be sitting next to you.
Well, I don't want to be by myself now, so
man.
Because see,
I'm next to you. Say, hey, there's like a sauna in here, man.
Right? Because my ex-wife used to always say, "You going to hell, boy." So it's kind of engraved in the brain. I'm scared of that one.
Well, you're not alone. I remember distinctly this. I got into an argument back in the day, unfortunately, with an old man, and he was in a wheelchair, and he takes his old finger, not gold finger, old finger, and points it at me and says, "You're going straight to hell." You're right. And you don't got to say hell like that. You just can't say it regularly.
No. You got to put some impact on it. I'm reading something here on Facebook. It says, unknown fact, Doug Banks' wife was related to Herb Kent's ex-wife.
What?
I knew that she was from Chicago. I didn't know too much about her family background. A very nice person.
I like that.
Yeah. I knew his first wife and his second wife.
You never know. See, that type of connection.
Mm-hmm.
That's there.
Yep.
Man,
and his mom was a character too. Kay was a trip, boy. She used to come visit. She would come visit me and my family and stay at our house. She said, "I'm not going to stay with him."
This is Doug's mother?
Yeah, Doug's mom. No, I have a room at your place. I said, "Okay, Kay." Okay, come on in and stay a while.
Why she want to stay with her own son?
Because Doug was wild and crazy. Doug was out of control. He was like never at home. Who knows where he was staying?
Okay.
He was. Now he used to have this phrase of calling people party animals, right? He was the king of the party animal cartel. So he was wild and crazy. I got too many Doug Banks stories for the world. But she was a character, and we loved her to death. And she died from cancer. And I remember talking with her. She said, "Leah, you got to do me a favor." I said, "What's that, Kay?" She goes, "Will you make sure this boy does the right thing?" I said, "Okay, now you putting a lot on me now. You're really putting a
pressure.
Big responsibility." I said, "But okay, I'll make sure. I'll make sure that he's okay." So I tried to live up to that best that I could, but boy, I tell you, him as a son was a challenge. But I'm so proud of him. He did well, and he's got 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 children, and he did well. And so sad that he's not with us, and that breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And who would have thought? I thought I would have been gone before for Doug and many of the other people that have left us.
Well, in a perfect world, in our minds, especially when we're close to people, we want to succeed them before death because the rule of thumb, quote unquote, is, well, I'm older, I've lived my life, I'll go before somebody who's younger. And we both know that's not true. But as we romanticize about it, that's what we want. We don't actually get it. We don't actually receive it or get it. So we have to appreciate the time we have with each other.
That's true.
Yeah.
Live like this your last day. Now, congratulations to you, your city, and the Cubs going to the World Series, man.
Now, let me say this up front. I'm a South Sider to the day. I took a dirt nap. But I have to give credit where credit is due. I watched that game from inning to inning.
Yeah.
And that Cubs team is no joke.
Yeah, they look like they want to win it.
They're all business. They're all business. They mow them down. They got the right people involved. Of course, they got the right management, general manager.
Right ownership
coach,
now.
Oh, everything. And when the Ricketts took over and brought in Epstein from Boston, I said, okay, they got something now.
Yeah, exactly. They said it would take 5 years to build a team, and they did it, looks like, in 4 years. So
sure did, exactly.
So I've been saying for a week or so now, it's the year of the C's, the Cubs, the Cowboys, and Clinton. Thought I'd throw that in.
I hope you're right, sir.
And Carol. I forgot Carol. Carol.
Carol.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, will we ever see Carol? Will we ever see your face? You did it one time. I remember when you first started the show, Lee, that you would pan over to Carol. And Carol, you're very lovely. I think you're denying us. You know, you're looking. You had sunglasses on at the time.
Yeah.
I think you should. You know, every now and again, just let us know what you
Flashes.
look like. You're fantastic. Yeah.
Do a flash on us.
I'll do a
There you
flash
go.
one day.
Okay. Well.
You know what's funny though? Anybody that knows me
Yeah.
will tell you I've never, and I'm getting ready to do a thing for a magazine where they're going to shoot pictures of me.
See?
Oh,
You'll
But
do a photo
that's their
shoot.
press. Yeah, I have stuff out there in press right now, but I
But
just don't like pictures.
You're denying your fans an opportunity to really connect with you visually.
I leave that up to Lee. Lee likes that visual thing.
No.
Yes,
no.
he
I
does.
have no choice.
Did you see Lee on the weekend? He had a choice to not be in the camera.
Well, I just wanted to show people that, I
No,
was
Lee
experiencing
likes doing
flying
this.
with my friend Ron Ellison up in his private plane, and we were just,
Letting everybody
in-
know,
in
like,
fact-
hey,
in
I'm in
fact-
a private plane.
In fact, Ron asked me to
No,
broadcast it
Lee,
on his behalf.
watch Lee. Go on his site. Sometimes you'll see him. He's in there all the time.
Yeah.
He likes it. So I think that's fun. He likes himself. I have been a person, I've never liked pictures. I don't know why.
But she's got a Facebook
unless
full of
it's
them.
like an interview or something I'm getting, or
Yeah.
that I've even been offered major modeling jobs because they're using a lot of women over 50 now. Actually, they're getting a lot of work, and I'm like,
That's
no,
good.
I don't think I could do it.
Well, look, Carol, let me ask you, how tall are you, Carol?
I'm about 5'8", maybe about
Okay.
5'8". Would you say, Lee?
Yeah, probably.
About 5'8".
I thought you were tall looking. Yeah, I mean, you're very statuesque.
Yeah, I'm Native American. Little Russian in
Nice.
there.
Nice.
All right. Nice. That's nice.
I'm the real Indian, not the ones they put in the movies.
No, of course not. No, they don't count. That's
But you know what
that's
I
the
get?
picture.
People go, why are you so pale? I go, what, you think we all come in the same color? They'll go, why do you have light eyes? I said, why do you think Native Americans wouldn't have light eyes?
There you go.
So people, you know, it's that same old thing. They feel everybody should look a certain way.
Yeah, right. Well, the world is a rainbow.
It is.
There's no cut and dry.
Exactly.
Hey, Laura Rice, why don't you call in 424-227-9461?
Where are you at, Chris?
I'm in Chicago.
Wow, everybody's in Chicago. My sister's husband's from Chicago.
Oh, very cool.
I've only been at their airport. Fly in, get on another plane, and leave.
Really? You never spent any time in Chicago?
I think I might have did a show with Michael Jackson there, but you're not really there. You do the
Right.
show and you're gone.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Great town. I love Chicago.
I hear a lot about it. You know, the sad thing is they want to put the bad stuff. You know, this person
Yeah.
got shot. Let's see, this weekend we had
Yeah.
20 shootings. They don't, and then you read another thing where it says it's one of the places where people like to travel. So it kind of throws you off.
Oh, Apollo is making jokes here in the Facebook chat. He says, "The Penthouse Myth Edition, starring Carol."
Tell him I would never do Penthouse. If I was to do something, it wouldn't be Penthouse. I actually worked for
that would be
Penthouse.
hilarious.
I worked on people that did
You
Penthouse.
did, huh?
It gets regular raunchy on that set.
Yeah, I bet.
Playboy, I never really seen that. It was much cleaner.
Oh, that's too
So
funny.
if you were going to do one of them, Playboy isn't nude though any longer because
you know what, guys?
you can see nudity anywhere now.
We're sitting here laughing
Yeah,
and
that's
scratching, but that might be a nice little enterprise. You know, older women, doing their thing.
MILF, right?
MILF.
No, actually, you have a model right now. This woman's in her 80s, and she puts those young girls to shame.
Yeah.
She's very classy to watch her walk a ramp. And
What's the plus
remember, I
size?
showed you her.
What's the plus size model that made fame here recently?
I don't know, but that's a joke to me because my son shoots some of them, and they're very sexy women. They're women that they call plus size 10, a size 10 and a 12.
No, this
that
girl's
is not
hot.
a plus size woman.
She's hot though. I think she's very attractive.
Oh, I think a lot of them are. The one that did sports was it Sports Illustrated?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking
Beautiful body.
Yeah.
Pull her up.
Yeah.
Beautiful body.
Yeah.
And, it's like my granddaughter quit basically with IMG because they make them lose all this weight. and everybody, they get eating disorders.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
it's too
she's
much
looking
pressure.
great. She left the modeling agency. She's getting jobs on her own. She doesn't need them. They're a joke.
Yeah.
Women are beautiful in all sizes. I have a friend that's very overweight, but I'll tell you what, she's very beautiful.
Yeah, George is saying Sarah Palin should have done the service to her country and took the $1 million that Hugh Hefner offered her. I didn't know that. I missed that one.
That couldn't have been recent because he's a little senile.
Well, maybe that's why he
I
offered him $1
couldn't
million.
imagine her being nude.
She's not a bad-looking woman.
No, but she's so hateful. See, I
Well,
would see
yeah.
through the hate.
Yeah. I think I could look beyond that.
You have some women that look. Women aren't what they used to be. Women
Yeah.
work out.
That's true. They sure make them different than when I went to school. When I was younger, I mean, oh my God, boom shakalaka! I was scanning the TV band yesterday, and I ran across Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and you know what? You're right, Carol. Khloe has a bigger butt. I hadn't seen her in probably a year.
I keep telling him these girls are clones.
But she's got a big old yankety yank on.
I kind of have to laugh at them sometimes because coming from Montana, being Native American, all the things they made me hate about myself, I laugh now.
Yeah.
Because when I moved to California, I didn't want anybody to know there was Native American in me. I did not want them to know that.
That's terrible.
And now I see these women, because Native Americans, we have lips, we have high cheekbones, I think we have great eyes. And I see them buying all these things now. Like, I get this all the time. You've done it. I said, I have never done a facelift. Because women do them very young now. They do them like at 30 years old, facelifts.
I'm going to open up a parts store for women.
Yeah, you'd be very rich.
You could. You think they don't sell implants from some manufacturer or the fake booties?
I'm sure. I'm enterprising,
Well, it's funny. Before we had terms like MILF and things like that, like back in the day, when I go to the show, and of course, way before the internet, people out there who are younger, maybe before we would go to the movies. And back in the day, in your neighborhood movie theater, you would probably get a lot of fake Bruce Lee kung fu movies or black movies, or as some people may label it, black exploitation movies. I never really could understand the name of it, but they did it. So I was a kid back in the day. Of course, I would go to the Pam Grier Film Festival for $1.50. For $1.50, 3 Pam Grier movies in a row. Now, I'm 10 or 12, 13 years old. I was sit up front so I could see everything.
Everything. You were in love, weren't you?
Everything. Oh, my gosh. Pam Grier made a man out of me.
Wow.
I would sit up there and just watch. Now, my neck would hurt because I lean back and see all those, all everything, But, my God, those Cage Bird movies she did, it was, woo, doctor. It was just, it was beautiful. It was a good time back then. I had neck pains, but it was worth it.
Well, she, I was reading somewhere, I think it was online, and she kind of gave her requirements for a man to live with her.
Yes.
And apparently she has several dogs. So if you want to be with Pam Grier, then you've got to not have a problem with sleeping in the bed with her dogs. Her and the dogs. So could you do that?
Yes, sir. Bow wow.
You didn't take a long time to answer that, Doug.
Bow wow, sir. Bow wow. Please.
No doubt.
I don't like dogs like that, but bow wow. I'm already there.
You in the house like a dog on punishment.
Hey, man, punish me, dog.
Well, I think if the dog's clean.
Yeah.
I mean, men sleep with their dogs.
I did. We had 3 small dogs, though. They're like German Shepherds or, Rottweiler, some big canine like that. But I had 2 toy poodles and a Maltese. And it's funny because they all had their own little section on the bed that they wanted to be in. The female wanted to be at the top of the bed up on a pillow by herself. And the Maltese wanted to be down at the foot. And Bentley, the one that the doggone coyotes ate, I'm still pissed off about that. He would sleep in between my wife and I, or sometimes on top of her. And, he would move around. He was kind of a wanderer. Yeah. That was Bentley, Sir Bentley.
No, it's funny. I have cats. I can actually, if I don't have a boyfriend, I'm not really looking.
You get rid of the cats, you might get lucky.
No, I would. My cats wouldn't have a problem sleeping out on their little condo.
No?
It's me
Okay.
that brings them in the room.
Okay. They sleep on the bed with you?
Not really. My fat boy likes the shower, so he waits for me to put a towel down because he wants to sleep on a certain towel. And I have a box. Cats love boxes.
Yeah, they do.
I don't care. It could be a cereal box. They're going to try to get in it. So I have a box, and once a month they get to keep the box. And then I decide it's time to throw it out. I put it by the door, and I come in, and they've moved the box. So I don't. My cats don't insist they have to sleep with me. Little man, maybe. I'll wake up and he's there, but most of the time, little man's sleeping on the dresser, and she goes under the bed.
You know,
So they're not.
yeah.
But if I had a dog, as long as he don't smell,
Right.
I don't care if he's on the bed. But if he smells, to be
Yeah, not
honest,
like a
I
smelly
had a
dog.
German Shepherd, and no, he was not allowed on the bed. But I would come home, and I knew he had been on the bed because there would be the imprint and the heat of his body.
Yep.
And I would yell
the
at him.
signature was there.
And try to tell him you were on the bed. His ears would go back and his tail would tuck under like, no, Mom.
No, Mom, I didn't do it.
And I would just tell him, don't. I don't, a lot of people don't like animals on their couch.
Yeah.
My daughter they don't allow their dog on the couch. And he knows not to get on the couch.
My dogs have always taken over the house. I have no control. I don't think I want any more pets, though. Because,
Well, you have basically 4.
You know.
Well, you have 5 right now because you guys
well,
are
they're not
babysitting.
mine. Yeah, but they're not mine. I don't think I want to own any more pets. Because, you know, it's just, it's too much. It's too hard. You fall in love with them, and then something happens, and, yeah, it's heartbreaking and expensive. It's like having another child. You can have a cat or a dog that needs an operation. It could cost $5,000 or more. I was talking to one of the guys over the weekend who a dog attacked his little chihuahua twice within a week. And, you know, it was $2,500 worth of damage. And the guy that owned the other dog didn't have the money. So the animal control came in and took the I think it was a Rottweiler.
Well, Rottweilers can be mean.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. Then another guy there, his dog became ill, and the doctors wanted $12,000 to operate on him. And there was no guarantee that the dog would be any better.
Well, that's why I always suggest to people, if you get a pet, they do have pet insurance.
They do.
I have it. And
They do.
You might have to put the money up front, but I get almost every cent back. It's
Yeah.
$100 deductible, and
Right.
I think they'll pay up to, I think it's like $20,000 a year.
Yeah.
And if my animal's got cancer, and I feel this way for humans too, if it's incurable, why should I make them suffer?
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
had friends that have had cancer, and they tell me if they ever got it again, they would not do chemo. They said the chemo, when you heal, is even worse. They end up with problems from it.
Well, the chemo is you know, it's pretty rough on you.
Yeah, one of my friends, she can't go on the road any longer because her feet, there's a name for it, begins with an anarsia or narcus, where their feet just hurt all the time from the chemo.
Yeah. Wow.
So I have to relate to my pets that way. I have friends that put their animals on chemo and then they die a year down the road anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
why should I let my animals suffer?
Yeah, it's a tough one. You love them so much, and you know, it's hard to deny. You know, when you become so passionate about your animals, your pets, your family members. You know, I know some pets that are treated better than humans.
Probably mine. Have you met them?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got sweaters for the winter.
Yeah.
People come and they go.
And you brush their teeth every day, right?
I
and
brush,
comb 'em?
take care of their teeth. I definitely comb them because I don't want
Brush
cat
'em every
hair
day?
all over my house.
Right.
I brush them every day. They wait to be brushed.
Do you trim the nails?
Yes, I do.
Hmm. Do you paint the nails? Or put
No, mine
polish
are
on them?
boys. They don't want
Oh.
their and the
Well,
girl.
you got the girl. Her.
But she doesn't want her
She
nails
doesn't want-
painted.
How do you
No.
know? Did you have a conversation with her?
Because she can't stand to get her nails clipped, let alone
Oh.
somebody putting polish on them.
Polish on them. Okay. All right. I'm just checking. You might be denying it. Maybe she does want to
I
floss.
only buy him a sweater because I don't put heat on, and if it's cold at night, I put a sweater on him.
I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna have a conversation with her and find out if she
Her
wants.
probably would scratch you because she doesn't like men for some reason.
Yeah, okay. Well, I won't bother her then.
She hates Jim.
I think Jim's probably done something to it.
Yeah, he blocks her and he stands there and stares. And I told him, you know what,
you
Jim?
know what he said to her? Pressure cooker.
No, I asked him that before he moved in.
Hey, real quick, Lee and Carol, I gotta take off. I'll call you tomorrow. But
No,
I wanna thank you
unacceptable.
For everything.
Unacceptable. You can't leave now.
It's too late. I'm ready to go.
Damn. Okay, dog.
Yeah. All right, man. But I'll call back tomorrow.
Okay, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
That's Chris Bass, ladies and gentlemen. And he's a great talk show host. You can catch him on Facebook as well. He has a show. He calls it Home Base in the Place. He's a great guy, a good friend of mine from back in the day, and we worked together there in Chicago. Thank you again. Yeah, I'm a cat whisperer. I can talk to the wussies. George, you bad.
Most of you men can.
George is bad. He says, who is it? I sleep with a bitch every night. Oh, boy. I hope she's not listening. Oh, boy.
Yeah, if she is, he'll get to see that bitch tonight.
Yeah, that's right. You think last night was rough. You wait till tonight. Wait until tonight, girl. Oh, yeah, you in trouble now. You're talking about the doghouse. You're out of the house with a bullet between the eyes.
He didn't say that.
Yes, I did. I'm not making it up. You see it on your Facebook. Go to the show. You'll see it right there. I didn't make it up.
That's terrible. But
Well,
I guess, I know I can be a real bitch. I won't deny that.
No, I mean, as long as you're keeping it real, you're acknowledging it,
I will acknowledge it.
then you're good.
Somebody get me angry, you will see one.
I know it. I bet your head spin around like the chick in The Exorcist.
I've heard it does. People say I get
green
this
slime coming
look
out
in my eyes, and it's like, okay, I think I'm going to leave
eyes
now.
start flashing.
I seen this earlier. I didn't really want to get into Trump today.
Oh, no.
But there's something where they say they have an audio that leaked where he's talking about how he planned all this. It was a pre-planned con job.
What, the whole election?
His was.
Well, I've been saying that from day one. Y'all ain't paying attention.
Yeah, he said
he never really fully intentioned on being this far down the road. It was all a ploy,
No, he bragged
an
about it.
opportunity.
He said he was going to walk in it
Yep.
and walk away with it.
Mhm.
And he thinks he's going to win outright.
No, not if I got anything to do with it.
The
Not
lady
if
said,
I
I'm going
can-
to get in and all the polls are going to go crazy.
Uh-oh. It's on now. Here's Alfo.
Hey, Lee, how you doing?
I'm doing great now that you're on the air. Come
Well,
on.
Lee,
Come on with your bovine.
I've always got some left. My bovine today is, and I know you all said that y'all didn't want to talk Trump, but
No, I just did.
Yeah. She did a short take
Yeah.
on him.
yeah, but I'm saying, let me put it in unmistakable terms. You must focus on this clown. You must focus on the direction he's looking to take the country in.
Mm-hmm.
Lee, I called you because Robert Reich, you know who Robert Reich is?
Yeah.
He has an article called The Trust Destroyers. And it siphons into the Ronald Reagan era. There was an era
Mm-hmm.
where the people in this country trusted government.
Mm-hmm.
Their objective, their ideology was to sow the seeds of distrust of the government. And that started with Reagan. And when Newt Gingrich took over the House and Congress, they continued that adversarial approach to governing.
Right.
So therefore, now Donald Trump has come in. And he is further. He's kicked the ball or the can down the road a little more.
Mm-hmm.
And when people understand what's going on, people have a better foundation by which to disseminate truth and logic. If you put, like George Bush did, if you put incompetence at the heads of all of the government agencies, government will not work well, and then you just step back and point your finger. See, government's not working.
Right.
And this is what's been going on for the last, 3-4 decades?
Yeah, exactly.
And so you have to, people who haven't been paying attention, and it does the conversation well to understand that this has been the objective. And I've mentioned the name Pete Peterson before,
Mm-hmm.
but he is a full-blown sponsor of Bill Clinton, the Clinton Foundation, the libertarian move to destroy the government of this country. You see, if you destroy government, you got Somalia.
Right.
And if you got Somalia, the only thing that's ruling and working and running the country are the moneyed interests of the people who have the wherewithal to buy their way along the way. And that's Donald Trump. And here in Illinois, there was a young lady who came on Facebook who went to early vote. And she said that, come to find out that her vote was being flipped.
How's that?
She punched in Hillary Clinton, and before she could finish, it was flipped to Donald Trump.
This is one of those computerized voting machines?
Right. And she went to make a report of it. And they say, "Oh, we'll pull that particular that voting machine off. We'll pull it offline." But is that enough?
That's not an answer, though. That's unacceptable.
Exactly.
And this was in Illinois, Chicago.
This was in Illinois.
Wow.
In Chicago. And that's what you find. This governor of Indiana, Mike Pence, who's the vice president. What they did was they raided the largest voter registers in the state. And on a technicality, they said, well, we have to confiscate these and investigate them. So now you're looking at over 45,000 who will be unable to vote because their registration is being investigated. And it is my point of view that those people who registered to vote should be allowed to vote. The pulling of their registration is a political move. The early voting in North Carolina, have you seen the lines?
Yeah, they're long lines. So,
I mean,
in Georgia as well.
Yeah, but this is ridiculous. This is how they suppress the vote. They make it so tough to vote. And when they got rid of the pre-clearance of the Voting Rights Act, this is what it created. And this is what it has created. Voting should be a holiday. There should be more than one day. There should be a weekend of voting. And people should be able to vote by mail, like they do in Oregon and a few of those.
You can vote by mail here in California as well. It's part of the early voting.
Right. Well, I had to vote by mail this time around. I had to. I don't know if it's called an absentee ballot here or if it's just voting by mail.
Gotcha.
But, I had to vote by mail. But it's a situation that when you talk about a full democracy, when you talk about a real democracy, your right to vote has to be the top priority. The governor of Virginia, the Clinton ally, I forget his name, but he was looking to restore the voting rights to over 270,000 felons, and the Republican legislation took him to court. So he couldn't, restore their voting rights. So
Right.
what he did, he commuted their sentences.
More than
And
one
so
way to
far-
skin a cat.
Exactly. And so far, he's only up to like either 45 or 65,000 people.
Wow. They're doing
And
something
it-
similar to that or attempting to do in Florida. I think there's over 1 million felons that could possibly win back their right to vote. So that's something that's going on in the state of Florida as well. I don't know if they'll be able to do it in time for this election.
So when does forgiveness kick in? The
Mm-hmm.
evangelical meme for when white privilege does something so sinister, so diabolical, so mean,
Right.
that the only thing they can do is fall back on forgiveness. When does that kick in? Or does it? Or it's not a situation reserved for people of color.
Well, it's used when it's convenient to those who need it at that time or that moment.
Yeah.
And it's so
Kinda like the
hypocritical.
Bible.
Yeah, exactly. It's so hypocritical when the evangelicals come out and the really big time Bible thumpers come out and say, well, it's not right because it's not that way in the Bible and blah, 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 blah. But when they want to use the Bible to their advantage, they do that. And it's just kind of hypocritical. And it really destroys their credibility when they say, well, I'm a Christian, and then they act like a moron, a real fool, and hateful, hate-filled. And so that dog doesn't hunt with me at all. At all. Did we lose you? I heard his bat phone ring.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Well, my house phone was ringing, and I didn't want
Is that the
in the
cheeseburger
background.
delivery?
No. We don't get those delivered anymore. We do our own.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. With extra cheese and extra mayo, right?
Extra artery clogging anything. I saw a bacon basket,
Oh,
and
no.
it was put into a fold to make a taco shell out of it.
I saw
And fill it
that.
up with
Yeah,
ketchup.
I saw that online.
I'm like, damn, where can I get that?
Right. It did look very good. I was impressed with it as well. But you just got to treat it like a drug, man, and just say no.
Yeah, right. Let me put it like this. I was quite successful in being able to treat cigarettes and marijuana like that.
Okay.
Because one day I just said, oh, that's it, and I quit.
Yeah, well, I did that the same thing with cigarettes, and I was never much of a drinker, so it was easy for me not to drink.
Well, I've never been a drinker. Matter of fact, I can't even say, yes, I can. I was a sophomore in high school. You know how long ago that was.
Yes, that's been a while.
That's when you was about 40.
Oh, damn. There's a black eye for you, folks. Bang, right in the eye.
Yeah, you call that a bottle to the back of the head, okay?
Exactly. Now,
Well-
tell me, Alfo, that you were born and raised in Chicago, right?
All my life.
So give me a Herb Kent story.
One of the things that stuck out to me really about Herb Kent was the ending of all of his shows.
Mhm.
He played the
Open our eyes.
the religious, Open Our Eyes. He plays the religious, and that song just resonates in the back of my mind, in my head. Let me put it takes a hollow trip through my head.
Yeah.
You know, when you mention Herb Kent, that's what I relate that song to, because it's a beautiful song. And Herb Kent to me was he was simply the voice of radio. He was the sound of radio. I didn't know him. I never met him, but I was saddened that learning of his passing yesterday, I think it was.
Saturday.
But,
He passed Saturday night.
Yeah.
He did his show
But,
Saturday morning, and generally has a Saturday and Sunday show. So obviously, he did make a Sunday show, and I didn't get a chance to listen because I was quite busy. But I understand they did a very nice radio tribute to him on V103 there in Chicago. If you have been in Chicago in the last 50 years, you know that name, Herb Kent, the cool gent, Herbie Baby. Nice guy, great radio personality, and
the only
he's going to be
problem I
missed.
had with Herb, the only problem I had with Herb Kent was he was kind of like a fashion criminal with that cowboy hat.
A fashion criminal. Yeah, he did like to sport the cowboy hat. That he did.
Yeah, but
he was quite a cowboy.
He was the best. I mean,
Yeah.
Growing up in between the Dusties, and even later on in his career, he would come on Sundays at noon. First, it started out at noon, and then it was at 5:00
Right.
in the evening, and he would just play Dusties.
Yeah, he did.
They were like, it's one thing, Dusties, today's music. I tell my kids and my grandkids, y'all ain't gonna have no Dusties because all of this music is bunk.
Well, when I got to Chicago, I was not familiar with the term Dusties. Everywhere that I've worked in the country was called oldies. So when I got there,
oldies.
the Dusties was like the word there in Chicago. That and stepping music.
Right.
So those are kind of two unique things to Chicago. And stepping, has branched out from Chicago, and that term is now being used in other places. But see, when I grew up, what we call stepping was hand dancing, the bop.
Or it was the bop. It started out as the bop here.
Okay.
When I was 12, 13, it was the bop.
Yeah. Because I used to watch my older sisters, doing it at the house back in the day. Because my youngest sister was 9 years older than me, and my older sister was 10 years older. My older sister, she wasn't much of a dancer, but my sister Margaret, she was a party animal. And she knew all the latest dances.
It turned into steppers. They got more sophisticated.
Right.
So they had to bring out the cool in it.
Yeah, well, Chicago is definitely known for that, and Herbie had his fingerprint on that as well. And I remember
Sure did.
when I worked at WBMX, I did a show, an oldie show. It was called Great Golden Grooves on Sunday. And I'm not sure if Herb was on or what's the other guy's name that used to do the Dusties? He died also. Oh, man.
I'm trying to think of his name. It's running. It's running, but I don't have it yet.
I think I was up against him and
McGee.
Yes.
Piggy.
Piggy.
Piggy. Right. Richard Piggy.
Richard Piggy.
You got a funny name.
Yep. Yeah, he did. It was a funny name. He was a nice guy, though. I worked with him there at WGCI AM/FM, and his office was right next door to mine. He was the program director of GCI AM, and I was the program director of the FM. And so, yeah, I had the pleasure to work with some great talent there in Chicagoland. Great radio market, a great radio market. One of my favorites.
It was good to hear the voice of Chris Bass.
Yeah.
And I'm having trouble being able to get his program online for some reason.
Well, he does it on Facebook.
Yeah, he does it on Facebook, but I used to be able to get it on the website.
Yeah, he's not there anymore. You talking about Urban Broadcast Media?
Right.
No, he's not there anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That one's about 20 minutes from shutdown, I think.
What you said, 20 minutes?
20 minutes of shutdown. Yep. Sign off. You're going to hear the sign off here shortly.
Well,
The Star Spangled Banner. Were you listening the other day when I played taps for Trump?
No.
Yep, his day is done. But
Yeah,
I don't want
and Trump saying,
I don't want people to get lax and think, oh well, I don't have to go vote. No.
exactly.
The president said,
And
don't
look
get
at
mad.
Look at
vote.
what he's leaving behind.
Oh yeah, mess.
Look at the resurrection and of the white nationalist movement.
Yeah. Carol thinks we're going to have race riots.
Well, let me put it like this. You have a group of people who can't win with ideas. They can't win in the long game of politics.
Mm-hmm.
They can't win in the voting booth, in the
Yep.
courthouse. They can't win with the demographics. So the only thing they have left is to take up arms. And I'm like this.
Now, what makes them
Pick
think
'em
that
up.
that would be successful? I mean, you can't fight off the very sophisticated police departments and the military because you know that the
Yeah, but see,
National
you don't
Guard is
have
going
to
to step
fight.
up.
You don't have to fight off the police department and the military if half of them is with you. And in the police department, it's 70% of them over. You know, I hear people
Right.
talk about
Yeah.
good cops. And these good cops suffer from Serpico syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Frank Serpico in New York?
Yeah.
And that's what they suffer from. And with the browbeating of the Fraternal Order of Police everywhere, this is the last stand of the brown shirts, of
Yeah.
America's
Yeah.
brown shirts. And when you hear about cops shooting and killing unarmed black people, there is a list, Lee, that I referenced to of how and why black people, unarmed black people, have been killed by police. And you don't. They kill us when we run. They kill us when we walk. They kill us. Period. And that's what has to stop. When you see those types of situations, those are nothing more than what is called ghost soldiers of the Klan.
Mm-hmm.
And until we recognize who they are and what they are and why they are. And it's going to be detrimental to our health.
I'm just getting a news bulletin here, breaking news, that what I've been saying all along is coming true. Donald Trump launches his own TV news channel.
Well, I'm looking for the FCC to knock him down.
I
Because
can't see how it's possible that he would be able to do that. And
Maybe
being a
he'll have him go to his
candidate.
25 million people Twitter with his
Right.
ghost followers.
Well, I'm sure that's his hope. That's been his hope all along, to parlay this into his media venture.
And with Roger Ailes run out for sexual harassment,
Mm-hmm.
with the Banyans, and that type of situation has to be mined, because you have to have people who are coming out against Banyan and Breitbart, and all of the people who mine, who basically cultivate and sow the seeds of that hatred. These are public airways, and the FCC should not be granting licenses. You don't have a right to hate speech. Free speech,
Right.
fine. But how free can it be if it's hate speech?
Well, it looked like at this point, Donald Trump just announced that Trump TV would be premiering tonight, October 24th at 6:30 Eastern time, so 3.5 hours from now. But it looks like it's going to be online on Facebook. So this is his way of controlling his message through his own broadcast network, but
Well,
it's
if
going
you-
to be online.
If you read what he says when he decided to go after this, he tells you how he's going to use the media without even having to pay them.
Well, this
And
is,
he did it.
Yep. So
All along he's been doing it.
the network will
Because
initially
what are
stream.
we doing right now? We're telling people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
No,
going
but
to
I'm
happen.
just saying he's
Well, I've been saying it all along because I just don't think that he has the intellect, the understanding, the passion, or anything that makes sense to be the president of the United States. It's not in his DNA. He's too egotistical, self-serving, and, like the J in his middle name, jackass. That's all it is. It's plain and simple.
Well, Lee and Carol, it's been great. Been great talking to you all.
Well, same here, and always welcome. Please tune in tomorrow and be a part of the show, and have a great and safe day there in Chicago.
All right, Lee. Take care.
All right, you too. That's Alfo on the Alfo Show on the Blog Talk Network. And thank you guys for tuning in and being a part of the show today. And we got to get out of here right now because Laura Rice, even though she didn't call in, is up next here on the Power of Voices. You have any closing statements there, Carol?
None that I can think of.
All right. Have a safe and peaceful day out there, folks. And we love you. And have a great day.
Lee and Carol will be right back with more of the Lee Michaels Show
tomorrow.
Powered by the Power of Voices Radio at thepowerofvoices.com.
If you would just if we could just play for
Lee and Carol will be right back with more of the Lee Michaels Show. Powered by the Power of Voices Radio at thepowerofvoices.com.
if you would just